Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, students. This is Mr. Isa, your social studies teacher. Today we are still in Unit 4 that says Our World Today, Lesson 5, Developing Technology. Textbook from page 124 to 127. Activity book page 70 to 73. Thank you. Okay, we all know from all the previous lessons that every lesson has its own objectives, and the objectives of this lesson are to learn how technology has increased interdependency between our region and the world. Number 2, to identify famous inventors and scientists and their contributions. Number 3, to predict how future scientific discoveries and technological innovations might affect life in the Middle East. These are the objectives of these lessons. This is why we want to study this lesson. Now, quickly let's come to some of the great scientists and inventors who existed just here in the Middle East. One of them is this guy called Taqiyuddin. Taqiyuddin was a Muslim who lived in the Ottoman state. Taqiyuddin was a Muslim who lived in the Ottoman state. He studied many different sciences and also worked as a judge and a philosopher, inventor, and a teacher. He invented many devices, including clocks, the cameras, and many other things. He also invented the early forms of steam turbine in the 1950s. You can see that was very many years before when this guy started inventing things. The second guy I want to talk about is Charles Babbage. Charles Babbage was an English mathematician, a philosopher, and also an inventor. He came up with the idea of a computer that could run logical programs. He came up with the idea of a computer that could run logical programs. The other guy is James Watt. James Watt was a Scottish inventor and an engineer who developed the first steam engine that was used in the 70s. That's long time ago. Good. Let us try to see the other scientists and inventors. Okay, we are now back. We have to go to the other inventors and scientists. The other one is Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison was an American inventor who developed devices such as electric bulb. The bulbs we are using today at our homes and offices, all these are ideas that came from Thomas Edison, and they were only modified by other people. The other guy is Alexander Graham Bell. Alexander Graham Bell is a very famous inventor. He experimented with transmitting voice signals along a wire for an electric phone. If we go to our textbooks on page 135, we shall see the type of phone that I'm talking about. Long time ago, people were talking not like today. Today, to communicate with someone using a mobile phone, you don't need wires between you two people. So all these ideas came from Alexander Graham Bell. The other guy is Carl Friedrich Benz. Carl Friedrich Benz is a German engineer who built the first gasoline-powered automobile. He is the first guy who came up with the idea of gasoline-powered automobile. He founded the manufacturing company of Mercedes-Benz. We all know Mercedes-Benz, or we have heard it somewhere. The type of car that was invented by this German guy You can find the car on page 135 also. Thank you. So we have seen how people were not sleeping. They were always trying to make life of people easier by designing and inventing some new things. Because of their deep thinking and their inventions, today we are celebrating their inventions. Life has become a bit easier because they were thinking and inventing. Thank you. Let's come to technological development and our region. Technological development and our region. The steam engine was a very important invention because it marked the start of industrial age. The steam engine was a very important invention because it marked the start of industrial age. With the developments in factories, countries all over the world, people needed power for their machinery and transport. So, the fossil fuels in the Middle East became very, very valuable resources. Again, the fossil fuels in the Middle East, they became very, very valuable resources because everyone needed oil to supply to their cars and other machinery. If you look at this slide, you will see we have the invention of steam engine at the top. The invention of steam engine forced people to need the fossil fuel. There was need for the fossil fuel. The need for fossil fuel led to more forms of transportation. The need of fossil fuels led to more forms of transportation. The more forms of transportation, they led to more machines for mass production. They led to more machines for mass production. And the mass production of more machines led to more products for human consumptions. So you can see how the arrows are moving. It means they are all moving, and by the end of the day, they need the fossil fuels. So you can see how much technology has been changing in our area since the fossil fuels were discovered. There were more transportations, there have been mass production, there have been more products for human consumption. All this is because our region has enough fossil fuels. Thank you. What about energy in the future? Energy in the future. To be honest, our oil reserves will not last forever. To be honest, our oil reserves will not last forever. One day, this oil may end up or may run out. So, we need renewable resources that will not run out. So, we need renewable resources that will not run out. Because, as we speak, the human population uses about 87 million barrels of oil every day. You can imagine, the human population uses 87 million barrels of oil every day, all over the world. Now, scientists are working on finding renewable energy sources for the world's transport and technology needs. In short, people are trying to use other means apart from the oil. One example is the sunshine. Sun is a renewable resource. We already use solar power for some kinds of machine because the sun will not finish even one day. So it's better we design our machines which can use the sun, because one day the oil may get finished. The second one you can see on the slide, there's a picture of the wind turbines. The wind turbines collect the wind energy and they convert it into power. The wind turbines collect the wind energy and they convert it into power. So people are also planning to use the wind instead of using oil. One day we should use the wind as our resource because the oil will get finished one day. Okay, thank you guys. We still have something here. In the future, scientists may find ways to harness wave power from the oceans. In the future, scientists may find ways to harness wave powers from the oceans. In other words, we are trying also to use water as a resource which can be able to move our machines. We are trying to stop the use of oil because one day oil will get finished. The other one is earth. We all know under the earth, deep under the earth, it's very, very hot. So sometimes some scientists are researching ways to use the heat deep under the surface of the earth as a source of power. Some scientists are researching ways to use the heat deep under the surface of the earth as a source of power, because we know that heat under the earth will not get finished even one day. In short, we are trying to find ways how can we stop using the oil so that one day when the oil runs out, we still have other forms of resources. Good. Generally, we can conclude that inventions were not invented by one person. Inventions were not invented by one person. Most inventions were not invented by a single person at a single time. Usually, there are several people working at the same time on a similar idea. However, not all records of inventions get found and get published. Don't forget, scientists and inventors can be very secretive about their work. The idea here is that things have to pass from one person to another. We can also say that technology has been developing and improving. We all know the type of car that was invented many years ago is not the same car that you are using now. We can also predict that technology will keep on changing, and this will affect our lives, whether we like it or not. So, in short, we should embrace changes. In short, we should be prepared that one day oil may run out. In short, we should be able to share ideas so that we can keep on developing other inventions. Thank you for following and listening. Feel free to ask any question. Thank you.